Welcome back, one and all. It's time for MSC Cruises and Cruise1st to stand together again and offer you some of the best value there is in the cruising world. Prepare to be wowed by the deals, which will sell out soon. And you can grab them all today with just a low deposit.
Yes, and we're making some Med and Caribbean dreams come true this time. How would you like a week on the brand new MSC World Europa in February with premium extra drinks and flights for under £800 each?
I'm sorry?
You just heard me, £800 each and under.
I beg
it's
pardon?
on the way.
Wow.
We'll believe it when we see it. I still don't know.
It's coming. It's a really, really good one to grab. And you know what? We're going to keep you waiting for it. First, though, the first of two Caribbean offers on MSC Virtuosa. Later, we'll sail from Southampton out to the Caribbean and Barbados for a stay in November, or you can take up the first offer for the 10th of December, where we fly straight to Bridgetown in Barbados to begin 2 weeks of Caribbean cruising on MSC Virtuosa, and here she is.
Oh, fantastic. Now, this is really a very special ship. We all cruised on board this ship last year.
Yeah, we did.
Had a whale of a time. No pun intended. You know, this is such a vibrant, exciting ship with such a unique design about it as well. Everywhere you go, they have, this is a nice thing about MSC, they have very distinctive areas around the ship, so every sort of different floor, so to speak, has its own identity. The atrium was one of my personal favorite areas to hang out and just watch the world go by. You've got, it's like almost like an Italian piazza, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they've got these, you have these lovely restaurants, you know, it's almost like overlooking a square, and then this incredible dome that changes with its very own light displays from day to evening.
You can see everything that's going on, which is the great thing. So if you're a nosy parker like me, it's great because it's just brilliant for people watching.
Yeah.
It's not that great if you're meant to be socialising and actually your head's going backwards and forwards watching everybody else. But there you go. I was just going to say, by the way, for anyone that's cruised Virtuosa before, this cruise, of course, because it's out in the Caribbean, is going to have a completely different vibe. It's going to be very, very relaxed. Yes, still the party up on top deck. Yes, still the amazing shows, the great time. But you know what? You're going to have a completely different vibe in the Caribbean.
Absolutely. It is very much no shirt, no shoes, no problem, as the old adage says, because yes, you have your formal nights on board the ship, but if you want to take it at your own pace and be low-key and not get dressed up, you absolutely can. You can go up to the Lido buffet and enjoy food up there, or room service. You know, it's really a fuss-free environment when you're cruising in the Caribbean, particularly on MSC, because there is just such a huge melting pot of different nationalities that come on board. You know, you might be cruising with people from the UK, from the States, from France, Italy, South Africa. I love that about MSC. It's truly an international crowd. There's Rob. He is your robotic bartender. He will mix drinks to order. He even talks to you. He's very entertaining. We love him. And the boutiques on board, I have to say, MSC are really well equipped when it comes to shopping, because the Italians love to shop.
Yeah, don't pass it by, because the prices are absolutely brilliant. I was really, really surprised. Normally, I kind of pass them by unless I need something, but brilliant value.
Yeah, you're going to love it, whether it's designer handbag, a new watch. Then we're first into Kingstown in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one of the 33 islands and small cays which forms the Grenadines. St. Vincent's very lush and verdant, relatively unspoilt. What you want to do is head to the botanical gardens and do an island tour when you're there. Then we're into St. George's, Grenada. Spice Isle, of course. Some tours I'd recommend here are the Best of Grenada, the Grand Etang Park and Fort Frederick with Annandale Falls, or the trolley tour of downtown. They're my two recommendations there for you. Fort de France in Martinique is next. Oh, I love this port. It's where the south of France meets the Caribbean. Now, you might want to head downtown to Fort de France to do some shopping, or maybe go to a traditional French bakery in the hot Caribbean sun. Quite like that novelty. Pointe-à-Pitre, Guadeloupe is up next, and this is another French island, actually. Absolutely stunning. Now, if you want to get off the beaten track, head on out to the small island of Gossier. You take a cab, and it's it's completely unspoiled, this island. It's beautiful. Next up, we're in Philipsburg in St. Martin, where you can head over to the French capital of Marigot or stay in Philipsburg, the Dutch capital. Just a water taxi from the ship will take you straight into that amazing beach with great shopping right behind in the downtown centre. Tortola's up next, talking of shopping right there at the terminal. These islands are known for their tax and duty-free bargains, particularly luxury goods. So have a good old shop or head over to Virgin Gorda and the amazing baths. Their natural rock formations, it is to be experienced. St John's Antigua is up next. Shirley Heights and Nelson's Dockyard are really interesting if you want to learn about the history of this port, and you can do an excursion, or right outside the ship there will be taxi drivers waiting to take you on adventures. Basseterre St Kitts is up next, and a tour here you could do would be local connections, where they take you to Romney Manor, Carabel Boutique for some shopping, and the Timothy Hill Lookout, where you can meet actually artists that work in that area too. So if you want to learn about local arts and handicrafts. We're in for another visit to Guadeloupe. Yay, this is actually one of my favourite islands in the Caribbean. Go downtown to Pointe-à-Pitre. It's hustling and bustling and fun. You've got the French flair, but of course at the same time it is distinctively Caribbean. Then we're into St Lucia, Castres, where you can head on out to the jungle, enjoy the Pitong National Park, or maybe do a bit of a zip lining tour over the jungle canopies. That is unforgettable. From ages 9 to 90, so much fun. So here is your overview. What a humdinger of a Caribbean adventure. Starting off in Barbados, heading through Grenada, of course, Martinique, Guadeloupe, so all the French Caribbean islands, the Dutch French in Philipsburg. Then we're on into the British, the Virgin Islands, Tortola, Antigua, St Kitts, another stop in Guadeloupe, what a treat, St Lucia, back into Bridgetown, and then we fly you home. If you do want to extend though, speak to our team.
Well, yeah, because actually on this one you arrive back on, is it Christmas Day? I think it is, isn't it? We land on Christmas Day. I think you do. We're going to just double check that right now. I was just thinking the Caribbean is so complicated, isn't it? Trying to work out who owned what and when, because there's such a history going back, and it's kind of the most unlikely places. You think, yeah, it's Spanish over there, it's Portuguese down there, and it's Dutch over there. It's like, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, it's all beautiful. That's the main thing, isn't it, at the end of the day? So, 10th of December, fly off to Barbados, flying straight there for your 2-week cruise on MSC Virtuosa around the Southern Caribbean. Gratuities included, of course, and your flight back to the UK. Deposit on this one is just £249 each. This is for this Christmas, right? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? This could be your Christmas present to each other right now, or to yourself. Deposit today, £249 each. Price tag to be away and come back. I do think on this one you land on Christmas Day back in the UK. 1599 per person. So you may well want to add a little stay at the back end of the cruise, and maybe just, you know, just so it hops over Christmas. So you can come home between Christmas and New Year, you know, so it's all done. Because you could land back on Christmas Day, couldn't you, on this one, and just think, 24 hours ago I was in the Caribbean, and now I forgot to take the turkey out before we went. Here's the details if you want to upgrade. If you want to add the drinks to this as well, the premium extra drinks package on this one, £35 per person per day, which is really, really good. There's other dates for the package as well that run from November this year through to March of next year as well. £249 per person deposit on that one right now. Yeah, amazing. Nice to do, but I would add a couple of nights in Barbados, because I think on that one, I remember trying to look at the airport departures on the day you'd be flying back, and I think it was other places around the Caribbean. Well, listen, you could fly to another place around the Caribbean, couldn't you, and do a bit of Christmas there. No problem with that. That's not a hardship, is it? Anyway, talk to the team. We can make all of that happen for you. 0800 953 4700 is the number to call. Now, just a bit of a warning. Attention please, attention please. We've still got an all-inclusive week cruising the Italian Med on the MSC World Europa to come for less than £800 each.
What?
But not now.
What?
That's in a minute. First though, We've got the Caribbean on repeat now for offer number 2. This time we're going to sail Virtuosa from Southampton out to the Caribbean, end with a stay in Barbados. Now this starts on the 8th of November down in Southampton, and Virtuosa will be waiting for you. Now quite often when we get on Virtuosa down in Southampton, as we will have done right the way through this season, and not just this season, a fair few seasons in a row, and I believe next year as well, we're going, for a week around the Med or 10 nights to the Canaries or whatever it might be. This time, we're taking a big cruise out to the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, this time it is the Grand Adventure. And it means that you get to go all the way to the Caribbean without setting foot on an aeroplane, which I know for many of you is like music to your ears. If you don't like to fly, let's be honest, it can be really uncomfortable, but on a cruise, my goodness, you're enjoying every moment, and you don't have the huge time difference because you lose an hour or gain an hour each night. So it's incremental. That's the great thing about a crossing. I think on the way out, you gain time. No, you lose time. Anyway, you'll discover that when you get on board. And don't worry, they'll tell you.
You'll have a great time, no matter whether you're losing it or gaining it.
Exactly, and it doesn't feel like, oh, hang on, jet lag, because you're cruising.
It's very true. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, this is one of the best things about doing a transatlantic, because it gets you there in style. Now, talking about getting you there in style, your floating hotel awaits with the most decadent and gorgeous food imaginable. Butcher's Cut, we loved when we went on board the ship. And I know
incredible.
On your many cruises on board MSC, you've loved it, Derek, as
Yes.
well, and with our, of course, viewers too, who I'm sure are going to be, many of you are going to be joining you very soon later on in the year. This is a delectable place, and Ola Cantina as well, Hola Taco, excuse me. This is a really great one to just get your Mexican on if you love Mexican food. Now, whether you are kind of someone that is a gym buddy or you're just interested, they do have great classes on board. Also, you can go up and walk around the deck every day, which is a lovely thing to do when you're sailing. You can just breathe in the fresh air, get some exercise. You get exercise though, walking from one end of the ship to the next. That's the great thing about cruising.
It's a good way of getting your steps in, actually, isn't it? I hate to do this, and I'm not an advocate for it, but it's kind of like banking the calories that you're about to consume, isn't it? Because you do go over your average calorie count.
Oh my
generally
goodness!
On a cruise, don't you?
But you look at your step counter if you have one, or even if it's the one on your phone. You're like, how have I done 20,000 steps today?
I know.
Because you are just pottering around from edge to edge, and that's the great thing about cruising, isn't it? And the shows every night, they have something different for you to enjoy. So we are cruising out of Southampton, and we're about to go on an epic 18-night adventure. The first port we're taking in is lovely Le Havre for Paris and Normandy. Now you can head to Le Havre Cathedral right there in Le Havre if you don't want to venture further afield, or perhaps take a sort of a battlefield tour of Normandy. That's an interesting thing to do, or Paris indeed. Then it's Ponta Delgada, which is a beautiful island off the coast of Portugal, where Portuguese hospitality meets a relaxed transatlantic flair, and you actually have an overnight on board there, which is great. Natural hot springs and geysers, beautiful old town, pastéis de nata ahoy, the delectable treat from Portugal. Then we're into the Caribbean, Tortola, of course. Now, this is a part of the British Caribbean islands. You might want to take a 4x4 adventure whilst you're in Tortola, or tour the neighbouring island of Virgin Gorda, the natural rock formations, the baths. Then we're into St Martin. St Martin is amazing for its marine life. If you are a thrill seeker though, why not head to Maho Beach on the French side, where you are inches from a landing aeroplane. You literally see people holding onto the fence. St John's Antigua is next. You can shop for cruise dresses and lots of souvenirs right there at the port. They have wonderful boutiques in Redcliffe Quay, and restaurants indeed. But take a full island tour if you want to explore everything. Then it's Fort-de-France in Martinique. For stunning beaches, take a water taxi from the ship. It'll take you over to some of the best beaches right there. Or for more authentic flair, enjoy the downtown area and just see how the locals live. Then we're on into Guadeloupe, Pointe-Pitre. Now, this is honestly, I think this is a kind of hidden gem in the Caribbean because it's not on a huge amount of itineraries. You can head up and see some of the lush and beautiful waterfalls or enjoy the downtown area whilst you're there. We are then into Castres in St. Lucia, known for its famous Pitong National Park. Now, if you want to just stay further closer to home, Point Seraphine and Le Place Carenage are right there, and they're well connected with the water taxi, and they have great restaurants and shopping. Then we're into Bridgetown, Barbados. We'll disembark But guess what? You're not heading home yet. You have got 3 fabulous nights in one of the most beloved Caribbean islands of all time, Barbados. Native Barbados people actually consider Barbados to be more British than it is Caribbean sometimes. I mean, you've got places like Trafalgar Square downtown, for example. Very cool. I tell you what, you must enjoy the Boatyard. That's a really wonderful restaurant downtown with incredible views over the ocean. Harrison's Cave's a great one to explore as well. Doctor's Cave Beach. You might want to do a sunset sail on a catamaran, or head to Lime Grove for some, from some luxury shopping, and they have all the designer brands there at tax and duty-free prices.
Did I just see an afternoon tea there?
Yes, they do. Sandy Lane, that's the place to go for your afternoon tea, yeah.
Afternoon tea in Barbados.
Absolutely.
Let's just drink that thought in for a moment, shall we?
I love that.
It's November. I'm just having afternoon tea today. Sorry, Mother, I can't speak right now. I'm having afternoon tea in Barbados. Yeah, I think I could cope with that. Yeah, absolutely, I think I can cope with that. I'm just holding that as a thought for a moment. Yeah. Yeah. Could you? Yeah, I think you could. Out in the Caribbean, you just had your cruise, you're there in Barbados, you go and seek out afternoon tea, you go ring the person that you fell out with years ago and haven't spoken to, say, I'm just having afternoon tea in Barbados. Bye. What fun that would be. Terrible. Anyway, listen, this is going to be an amazing adventure. You get on the 8th of November to join MSC Virtuosa in Southampton as she sails off to the Caribbean for the winter. She'll be there for the whole winter. You're joining her for 18 nights, cruising out to France, an overnight in the Azores, and then across the pond to the Caribbean, ending in Bridgetown in Barbados for a 3-night hotel stay. Afternoon tea, of course, and then your flight back to the UK. Your deposit on this one today, just £199 each, your price tag for the whole package. And at this time of the year, honestly, worth every single penny piece of that price tag just to be away for, 22 nights? So 3 weeks, just over 3 weeks, to say goodbye to the dark and the cold and the dinge that is here at that time of the year, and to swap it for Caribbean sunshine and plenty of sea days on the cruise as well as you go across the Atlantic. Okay, the weather might not be the greatest as you're going across the Atlantic, but you know the light at the end of the tunnel is that fantastic Caribbean sunshine and beaches waiting for you, and the afternoon tea in Barbados, which I'm now obsessed with. Here's the details to upgrade while you're on board. If you want a better view of what's going on outside, the ocean view, the balcony, or of course the turn left option, the ship within a ship, which is the Yacht Club, which has so many perks and benefits that come as being part of it as well. Good solo price on this one if you fancy just throwing caution to the wind and off we go. That's a pretty good price tag actually. Call us now. Of course, you can tailor that. You can make the stay in Barbados longer if you wanted to. You could make the cruise longer, in fairness, if you wanted to, because these MSC cruises are doing sort of cycles around the Caribbean. So you could stay on even longer if you want to. Again, all possible. Just talk to the team now, 0800 953 4700. And the good news about all of these offers is the low deposit opportunity, because that really allows you to be able to put something in place right now, give us the low deposit, and then start the planning, start the budgeting, start the looking forward to it. Someone said to me the other day, people ask me quite often, one of my own cruises all the time, of which the answer is no, because I'm in a studio talking about them all the time. That's where I am. But people might say to you, when's your next holiday? And if you haven't got anything booked, it's pretty, you feel a bit empty, don't you? You feel a bit like, oh, I'm sorry, I've got nothing to report. I mean, I have right now. I have got 2 holidays.
Well,
booked in right now.
never experience that empty feeling again.
Yes.
Some words of sage advice.
Absolutely.
Because
the
once
Cruise First have the answer.
Exactly. And remember, there's low deposits all round in this show, so get booking soon. Right, let's get you away for a much-needed break in February next year with a week of all-inclusive cruising around the Italian Med. We'll fly on the 7th of February over to Barcelona to join the MSC World Europa.
Yay.
Oh, new and exciting. Doesn't get better than that in the world of
beautiful,
cruising.
isn't she?
She's absolutely stunning, and she has these. The actual design, the architecture of the ship, is a sight to behold in its very own right. And of course, she has that very unique designed hull, and you've got all of these areas around the ship that have never before been seen on MSC and on other vessels either. You know, that's the exciting thing about it.
And because they've got lots of space on board, they can do exciting things like open the first department store on a cruise ship.
Wow.
Which is, I mean, and that's how much space they have to play with. And
Yeah.
it's wonderful. This world class with MSC are superb. And of course, World Europa is the first one. You've got to see it, because no matter how many other MSC ships you've been on to date, this is bigger, bolder, brighter,
Yes.
stronger, you know, like it's got so much more. And actually, MSC have really listened to feedback actually right the way across when they've been designing these ships. And they've been saying, and people have been saying, actually, I need little places to go and escape to. So you can see there's like the gym project there. There's a microbrewery, there's a little pub. There are little bolt holes that you can actually escape to, because sometimes MSC cruises can be very busy. They can be very lively.
Yes.
And sometimes you want an escape from that. Sometimes you want the complete opposite of that. You just want a little bit of peace and quiet and just to chat with your other half, or somewhere to get to know, you know, new friends that you meet on the cruise. So there's plenty of that on World Europa.
I love well, you've got lots of little secret bars, but you've also got the Raj Polo Tea House. Now, this takes a step back in time to turn of the century India, where Indian and English tea traditions converge, and you've got a tropical setting to cap it all off. Don't
Yeah.
just imagine yourself there, or in the thermal area. Oh my goodness. There's nothing better to do than after a long day in port, go and explore the thermal area, sit in the infrared sauna, enjoy the thalassotherapy beds, have a nice massage, go in the salt cave, or just do some thrill seeking. Exactly. There's the venom drop. Yes, this is a dry slide for all age ranges. It is so much fun. And then of course all the pools and hot tubs around the ship, there's plenty of them. Botanic garden pool. Talking of gardens, they actually have the very first hydroponic garden at sea in a restaurant as well, which is going to be very interesting for you to experience.
Yeah, brand new concept.
Yeah,
that,
brand
isn't it?
new concept, that one, the garden restaurant. And you're gonna, I think these are just so many boastful experiences. You'll be back and you'll be like, you never guess what I did on the ship. And it's things you never expect to experience on a ship. They're going to be there waiting for you. All of these things are going to be waiting for you to explore and enjoy.
All of that, and some destinations as
Yes.
well. Out of Barcelona.
Exactly, we're heading into Marseille in France first. Fantastic gateway to the beautiful French Riviera in Provence. You could enjoy a nice stroll through the cobbled back streets and the old town, and maybe just have a nice cafe and some coffee in some of the quaint cafes. Then we're on into Genoa in Italy, which is the largest port in Italy. It boasts a huge wealth of day trip choices. Of course, you can head over to Portofino or hop on a train to Cinque Terre, Milan, lots of other places, or maybe take a walking tour of old Genoa. Then it's Civitavecchia, which is of course the gateway for Rome for many hundreds of years. You might want to head to Rome by train, see all of the hot spots such as Vatican City, Trevi Fountain, Spanish Steps, great shopping in Rome as well. Then it's Palermo in beautiful Sicily, really the most relaxed part of Italy if you ask me, and the focus of the locals is about enjoying the finer things in life. You could take a local connections food tour to enjoy some of Sicily's world famous delicacies. Then it's Valletta in beautiful Malta. The connection to World War II will allow history buffs really plenty to see and learn about in this port. But you could take an excursion to the Blue Grotto, which will allow you to see the natural wonders by boat. So here's an overview. Great destinations on this trip. And of course, the ship is a destination in itself, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. I'm telling you now, this date will sell out so quickly. I mean, we've given you the price twice in this show already. We told you right at the top of the show what the price of this offer was going to be. I'd surprised if not a fair few people were already booked and sorted. Don't care where it's going. The price is right. You know, it's low deposits today of just £149 each. And that's the flights to and from Barcelona and your 7-night cruise on the MSC World Europa to France, Italy and Malta with your premium extra drinks package included. And now let's confirm. I mean, I love Lisa, who puts our MSC cruise deals together for us. I love her to bits, but I think she's got it wrong here. I don't understand how this can be $799, and that's flights to and from Barcelona. That's your week's cruise, all inclusive with the premium extra drinks package. And that covers a lot, let me tell you. It's really good. Get a deposit down now, right now. You can see that there's a vast range of dates from pretty much now all the way through to October next year. But for this date, this price is valid for those people that get there in time. So get there in time. Here's the upgrade prices. In fact, for this price, wouldn't you think of definitely adding a couple of nights in Barcelona, either before the cruise or after the cruise? It's quite nice actually to be there the day before the cruise, because then you know, I'm here, I'm ready. There's no way I'm going to be late for that. No way. So why not have a night or two in Barcelona before you cruise? Might have a night or two in Barcelona after you cruise. Why not do both? Completely up to you. Or just say, you know what, $799, that's that holiday that I didn't have booked. But you'll have to be quick. Deposits in today of £149 each. I mean, Jo, you've cruised the world.
Yes.
With lots and lots of different cruise lines. You've obviously, when people in your life know that you work in the world of cruise, they're like, oh, find me the best deals.
Yeah.
So you have to be like on the ball, don't you, pretty much? You always have to have an idea, right, okay, this budget, this will be the cruise line, this will be the cruise and whatever.
Yeah.
But a deal like that, $799,
It's just unmatched.
That's kind of, people spend more than that going, you know, on a stag or a hen weekend.
Right.
Somewhere like, you know, Paris or Amsterdam or whatever, or Manchester, wherever you like. 100%. I mean, you could spend more than that over a weekend, couldn't you?
Easily.
Very easily. Your accommodation would eat up most of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Before you even went anywhere. And that's flights in and out of Barcelona, a week's cruising. And we've enjoyed the premium extra drinks package, the same ones we had on the first cruise with Derek as well, which is really good, covers a lot of drinks. And you literally, whenever you order a drink at the bar, you tap your card on the Dewberry What's It, and that's it. Not going onto your bill. Fantastic, lovely. And that's at all the bars and follows you around the restaurants as well, which is incredible. So if you're having dinner in the main restaurant, for instance, and we did this on Virtuosa, I think it was, had the drinks package. So if you ordered a glass of wine with your meal, rather than you being charged the £9 a glass every time another glass came, that would be refilled as part of your drinks package. I'm not encouraging overindulgence. I'm just saying it's not going onto the bill.
Yeah, and if you want to upgrade, like if you want a glass of champagne or something that's a little bit extra, then they'll take the amount off and then they'll just charge you the extra, won't they? If it's something a little bit extra. Which
is brilliant.
It's negligible.
And enjoy things like the champagne bar that are on board. You know, some of your champagnes will be included by the glass, of course. You can't have a magnum of champagne. That's on my drinks. I've got a drinks package. I'll have a magnum of champagne. You can't do that. But champagnes and fizz by the glass, same thing. Drinks package included, which is really, really good. Take advantage of that in a big way because it's awesome and it will sell out really, really quickly. But there are some deals to be had on some of those other dates as well. So again, talk to the team 0800 953 4700. As always, MSC come up trumps.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, you've got to get booking. We'll see you very soon.